Good evening. Today we will be talking about technology and its usefulness in the last 25 years. Now, imagine 25 years ago when the first MP3 player and the internet was starting to become populated. Today we're now driven by AI, so artificial intelligence, autopilot, and the largest source of information directly in the palm of our hands with our cellular devices. Now, advancements change how we live and redefine what is possible in our daily lives. So currently, we use cell phones, we use gaming devices. Back then, we had landline phones, we had wall phones, we had dial phones, so it has come to a big step up. Now, this benefits everyone, yourself and myself included, because the world is driven by technology. Now, I bet you don't understand the usefulness when it comes to phones and tablets and laptops and computers when you realize how quick and easy it is to look up information on the fly. As well as when you're traveling to a location that you've never been to and you look up directions through Google Maps and Apple Maps, which is a big convenience for all of us. Now, I've owned many devices in my lifetime, such as cellular phones, as well as entertainment devices such as a Nintendo Switch, and of course tablets, laptops, desktops, all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm also pursuing a degree in information technology, so I'm also helping myself gain information in technology as well. Now, using this speech, I want to talk about technology and how it was and how we are dependent on it today. Now, technology will be everywhere we go, and there is no sign of it going away at all. To understand its usefulness, it is important to know how it affects our lives and what it means for the future. Now, before we get started with the usefulness of technology, let me talk about the history since the start of the year 2000. Now, since the start of the year 2000, we would use landline phones, especially dial phones, as you see here today, and you can now see with our the current smartphones that we have. Now, going back, to the history, back then we would use televisions to look up news. We would use televisions to look at how cold it would be or how warm it would be in the current day for the weather. Now we can use media devices such as Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, which is now known as X. So we can be able to use all of those things. Like myself, I use Facebook and TikTok to look at things like KENS5 and KSAT. Now, the author Madeline Hillier wrote on the website WeForum of how technology changed and how it has changed us over the last 20 years, which was published in November 2020. She mentioned in 2004, fewer than 1 million people were on MySpace. Now, Facebook had not even been launched by then. By 2018, Facebook had more than 2.26 billion users, with other sites still growing to hundreds of millions of users. So, now that we know a little bit of the history of technology, let's look at how we use it and how it affects us every day. So, we use technology when we don't realize it. When we wake up every day, we turn on our lights or we set alarm clocks. We text each other good morning, good night, hello, using our cellular phones as well. Now, as the author Brandon Swinson said in the article University of Arkansas at Grantham, which was titled The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and published in December 2020, he said online learning platforms make it possible to skip the commute to campus, eliminate the need for exams by mail, and improve efficiency. Now, this is very true because I take college classes such as the class I'm taking now for this presentation, my speech class, and it definitely gives me freedom, and it also helps me save on gas as I don't make any commute to the school. Now, technology does distract us, as you can see here. A lot of people, whenever we walk around, whenever we're at home, all we're doing is we're just being on our phones. We don't think about going out in the world, socializing, and doing anything productive because all we have is our phones, which keeps us entertained. So now technology affects us every day, but what could it mean for our future? So we use things like fossil fuels, which are very bad for our atmosphere, and technology will definitely help look for a cleaner and greener solution for our Earth. Now, as the author Simon Yoon said in the website WeForum, titled 17 Ways Technology Could Change the World by 2027, which was published in May of 2022, he said, unlocking a significantly more digitalized, decarbonized, and resourceful, efficient future by 2025 will be made possible by market-driven software solutions and smart technologies, such as EV chargers and heat pumps to respond to real-time grid requirements. Now, this targets areas optimizing the asset owner's earnings as well as supporting the electric grid when it needs it most. Now, as you can see, these are examples of our cleaner resources. Solar panels and wind turbines, they're renewable energy sources that are not one-time uses such as fossil fuels. Now, this is also a benefit. Technology is also a benefit because it introduces the need for AI, artificial intelligence. Now, with AI, it can help reshape the education system. So the same author on the same website has also said the traditional educational system was invented nearly 200 years ago to meet the needs of the Industrial Revolution. It is not functional today. Now, schools, they only meet the minimum standards, so we can definitely get a higher education through the schools, and that's where AI comes into play. So through AI, it can create resource materials, practice problems, and learning plans that are adjustable and easy to follow and teach for both students and teachers alike. So today we've talked about the amazing world of technology. We briefly went over its history in the last 25 years. We've talked about how it affects our lives and what it can mean for the future. As we conclude today's speech, I would like to leave a quote from Elon Musk, who is the CEO of the biggest technology companies ever, known as SpaceX and Tesla. And he said, "Engineering is the closest thing to magic that exists in the world." Thank you for listening to my speech.